feel this way. This is an anthem for my people who cannot sleep at night.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Low Budget Podcasting with us, people who don't know what we're doing. Look at us. We're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thanks. That's off to a really weird start.
Yep, might want to edit that out.
Nope, I'm not going to. I'm going to expose you for who you are. Live strong, baby.
Live strong.
Lance Armstrong was a cheater.
Don't know.
He did steroids to race bicycles.
How does that make you feel?
Live strong, baby.
Yep, live strong.
So anyway, what are we talking about? Yeah, we're WTU. That's Adam. I'm Miles. For those of you not watching the video portion of this, I am a beautiful, ripped, masculine, ideal-looking male, and Adam works at an insurance company, and that's all you need to know about his physique. So just to put that image in your head, he's wearing a Live Strong yellow t-shirt. So he's looking at his watch, flexing his Apple Watch on me. Anyway, what are we talking about?
So
it's a WTU podcast.
Yes, WTU podcast.
Two voices.
Two voices.
Welcome. We're going to talk this week about art we love. This is an idea I had to talk about art that we love, that we've been enjoying in the past week, and we want to talk to you guys about. So, Adam, first of all, why don't you explain what you do at WTU? WTU Productions.
So, like my role with WTU.
Yeah.
Not only do I get the biggest blessing of my life in being Miles's bassist, but
you're a mean person for that.
And the harmonizing backup vocals.
Yes.
That keeps him afloat. I also run our social media. I do our distribution. I run our budget. What else?
Man, could you say anything more fun than that? That sounds so fun. That sounds so enjoyable.
I also, try to keep things afloat.
Yeah.
Keep our merch line.
I'm trying to sink us
every day.
Every day. I wake up and say, how can I
us.
fail this thing that we started? And Adam says, no, not today.
It's all good. Yeah, I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So
and then I sing, write some songs. I don't know.
And
it's
you play guitar.
I play guitar.
And piano.
Some piano.
Yeah,
I'm pretty bad at piano, but
yeah.
Anyway, any current events we should talk about before we get into this?
Well, depending on when this podcast is released,
we
have a big gig called Elevation Fest with the Elevate Church up in Greenfield, Ohio, at Felson's Park. And I believe that is July 28th. Let me confirm real quick.
I feel like it's the 27th.
Anyway. July 27th.
3
p.m. at Felson's Park up in Greenfield.
Yeah.
So that's a big event. It's going to be a Christian music festival, our first Christian music festival. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, come on out. It's going to be a good time.
It's free.
It's free, and we make money based on donations from the crowd. So
Exactly.
please feed us. We don't have any money. Please help us.
And there'll be other bands there.
Oh, yeah.
Not only us. There's going to be, I think, about 4 or 5 other groups. So got Safe Kept there. They're a good band.
Yep. For sure.
So it'll be good.
Adam.
Mr. Jenna.
What art do you love this week?
While driving home from the recording session that we had today for our new single, we'll talk about that later. I was thinking about music, of course, as I always do. And it kind of gave me, there's a song that's been on my mind lately of John Foreman's, one of his solo projects. But this song keeps coming just back to my brain. And it's called Terminal, off his album, The Wonderland's Sunlight, released in 2015. But it's a song called Terminal, and let me just read you some of the lyrics here real quick. Didn't know you were going to have a poetry jam, but here it is. So the first verse talks about, it says, the doctors say I'm dying and I die a little every day, but he's got no prescription that could take my death away. And it goes on and says it's terminal. And then there's a later part in the song here, the next verse, where it says, some folks die in offices one day at a time. They could live 100 years, but their soul's already died. And it goes, we're terminal. The final piece of lyric I'm going to mention here is it talks about the moment I start cursing, when people get mad at like stuff, at traffic or the phone, I remind myself that we all have cancer in our bones. And it says, don't yell at the dead and show a little respect. That, not to make this a dark situation. That probably didn't sound too good. Not to make it a dark
Interesting.
Not to make it a dark situation, but that song has just been pulling at me. In the world today, I think it's just so we don't treat everyone how we should treat them,
or every day
yeah.
like we should. Yeah.
So that song,
I think John Foreman's like the king of expressing that.
Yeah.
In his music, like, I don't know. Every time I listen to his solo projects, it's just like gives me a different perspective on, like when I wake up and I'm mad about random stuff that doesn't really matter. It's like, well, the doctor says I'm die a little every day, like it's,
and then
hits kind of hard, but like,
and not only that, but you think about the part where he talks about there's cancer like inside of all of us, like actively running through.
Yeah.
Like it's just not active in our
right.
active cells.
Yeah.
And all that.
Right.
But the fact that we all share that,
and just being human.
Yeah, we share that, and that tomorrow could be it.
Yeah.
I think that makes me every day want to live as selflessly as I can. Don't always do the best at that, but that lyric right there, that music, really always inspires me, and it's just been on my mind a lot. So
I mean, you want to talk about kind of that line, not bashing any place of work or anything, but just talking about like how you feel about like how we're supposed to live versus how a lot of people live like in their work life and stuff. Because I know you have.
Well, so I think a lot of people live for their job and their work,
which is not always horrible.
No, it's not always horrible, but I think it can really take away from like the meaning of life. Like when we think of I think society has formed humans to this concept. Probably get a lot of hate comments on this, but I think society has formed us to feel like not only feel, but we have to work to keep the lights on, to keep food, in our homes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's necessary.
We definitely have to work, but so, it takes away from life and being able to hang out with your family and see the world. I'm a firm believer in doing what you love as a job. Being able to live and experience the world while you can.
Definitely. Like as you work, it's not as easy. It's not that easy. Like we simplify it to that, but sometimes you got to pay bills. Sometimes, I mean, most of the time you just got to pay bills. Sometimes you got to.
I would say like in like our current season as a band, we're trying to do what we love, and we're trying to make it, this art, a beautiful thing that other people can experience.
Right. But still having to do other things.
But like I have a mortgage payment to
right.
pay,
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I have tuition,
Exactly.
and you have that as well.
Yeah,
so.
I do too. So.
But yeah, I totally get what you're saying there. It's hard to balance.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, how do you balance that to some degree? I mean, I feel like work outweighs what you love sometimes, but I mean, you still make music with me.
Yeah. And I mean, for myself though, I'm very lucky and fortunate to have a significant other that allows me to
Surrounding yourself with good people.
Not necessarily allows me to, but she supports what I do with music and all that. So I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of balance that, because I know that time takes away from being home and all that. But in the end, she supports me, and hopefully one day it'll be worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love that song. I love that concept.
It's a great song.
Shout out John Foreman.
Yep.
Check out John Foreman's solo projects, man.
JohnForeman.com,
crazy.
Switchfoot.com.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
You mind if I talk about a book I'm reading?
Go for
That's
it.
the most podcast thing to ever do. Is
That's
talk about
another
a book you're reading.
Yeah, that's another piece of art. Music isn't the only
You're right,
piece of
you're
art.
right, you're
so
right, you're right.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, I'm reading this book right now. I'll probably talk about 2 books that I read. Is that okay?
No, go for it.
Okay. You sure?
Go for it.
I'm reading this book right now called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. And basically, Malcolm Gladwell is a journalist who writes for The New Yorker magazine. And he's written a ton of books. And he's made 2 podcasts. One's about music. You should check it out. I already checked it out. But anyway, he writes this book about how often the smallest things cause the biggest epidemics. And like how change happens small piece by small piece rather than a lot of people think change happens when you make big strides all at once. But really change starts with, the smallest of actions being taken over and over again to form habits and stuff like that. And he talks a lot about like fashion epidemics. Like that's his metaphor, I guess, that he uses.
Yeah.
And I guess in the 90s, these kids in the East Village of New York started wearing hush puppy shoes.
Nice.
Which I don't even know what those are. I think they're like yeah.
I mean, might as well as look it up.
I think they're like boat shoes. Hold on. They're like, oh yeah. They're totally like super ugly, like chuck a boot looking like.
Those don't look too bad. Don't.
I
say
mean,
that.
okay, so here the reason why you say they don't look too bad is because in the late 90s, like they were the ugliest shoe in the world, and kids in East Village, like in the like fashion forward areas of New York, started just like wearing them for no reason, and because they were trying to be like trendy or whatever. And like that just spread an epidemic. The Hush Puppy shoe company was like on the verge of going out of business. And then like a few kids that were like going out to clubs and stuff started wearing these. And like soon it like caught like wildfire.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so like he talks about that, and he talks about like more serious epidemics like the crime epidemic in New York City. And how crime was on the rise in the 80s. And then one dude killed his assailants in the subway, and crime like dropped off, like I guess because people like were afraid that like people committing crimes were afraid that would happen to them or whatever. Anyway, sorry guys, our camera died. So this epidemic just spread like wildfire basically, and the whole book I'm almost done with it, is about the different types of people that make epidemics happen, and how you can use that to your advantage. You need people who are good salespeople who can spread your message. You need people who know a lot of people who aren't necessarily good salespeople, but people that just connect with a lot of people. I don't think you or I are necessarily people that naturally connect with a lot of people. I think we might be more of salespeople type of people who are good at talking.
Yeah.
But not necessarily good at connecting with other people. Like, just in terms of sheer number of people. There's just like your friend that we were hanging out with the other day is just that type of person who connects with everyone that he meets.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden he has a web of 5,000 people that he just knows randomly, like walking down the street. Well, and meanwhile, we have like 2 friends each. And so it's like, he just talks about the different types of people and stuff like that, and what causes ideas to spread. And I think it's interesting for us to examine as we're trying to spread our music, to connect ourselves with, people who have those large webs of people, and people who are good salespeople, and people who care about, our message and stuff like that. But
yeah,
anyway, it's an interesting book. Malcolm Gladwell, check out his podcast. He's the man. Another book that I finished about a month ago that just blew my mind was Searching for Stars on an Island in Maine. I'm going to have to remember what the author's name was, but basically this author is a theoretical physicist at MIT.
Nice.
I emailed him and he emailed me back the same day.
What?
Yeah. And he starts the book off by saying that he was out on his island in Maine, sitting on a boat at night and looking up at the stars. And he all of a sudden felt connected to the universe. And he talks about this like transcending to the heavens experience that he had, basically, where he felt connected at once with the entire universe.
Just by
like looking at the immense amount of stars. Cause like out where he was, it's pitch black, like on the water. So he's getting like, he's seeing all the stars, like no light noise or anything.
Right.
And basically he says that he, began to become like very afraid because he realized how small he was, like in terms of everything.
Yep.
And he realized that also, like, he didn't know what he was made out of, like, because we don't know what the smallest like subatomic particle is. Like, we haven't found it yet. He talks about that. He's a physicist. So like he talks about how we haven't found the smallest unit of like matter yet.
Yeah.
And he's like, what am I made out of? Like some like ether or something. Like he doesn't know. And he's like, is that where God is? And like he's an atheist still, but like he's like, is that God? Is that some thing we haven't discovered yet? Like, and it just was like blowing my mind to think about the universe in terms of that big of a scale. And it reminded me, like, kind of in a John Foreman way, how small I am.
Yeah.
And like how insignificant I am in terms of like size and stuff. But the Malcolm Gladwell book is kind of reminding me that even though I'm small things have big impact. Yeah. And so it's like these two books, like in my mind, just like
are fighting.
Yeah, just like, but I think it's good, you know, because you always need both perspectives.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. So I was about to say both perspectives. So do you feel after reading the first book, do you feel like the same, you might have already gone over this, but do you feel that same sense of, you can totally see it here on your phone.
I know. I'm looking for the author of that book.
Do you
Alan Lightman is his name.
Alan Lightman.
Shout out Alan Lightman. Dr. Alan Lightman, MIT.
My question to you is, do you feel like how he felt scared when he thought about like how he was made? Do you ever feel that worry? Like,
yeah,
like
definitely.
definitely that wonder.
Yeah, I think it is a wonder, and it's definitely different for me because I'm not a physicist, so I don't understand it from terms of the science behind why we're small.
Right.
Or like what we're made out of. I just sometimes you'll just be going about your day. I mean, you can chime in if you experience this too, but like I'll just be going about my day just doing whatever's on the freaking to-do list. You know, it's like so many times you just do stuff because you're a human and you just do stuff. Like so much of it is insignificant. And we don't make enough effort to do significant things, you know. We just kind of go about our day. But
yeah,
that's a different story. But I feel sometimes in those I have these moments where I come to like this realization where I'm like, wow, I'm inside this body. I'm experiencing this life right now and I'm not doing anything with it. And sometimes I get so sad because it's like what am I doing? Like I'm 20, I'm about to be 21. You're a little bit older than me. It's like, I'm sure you have the same thing. It's like, what am I doing? Like I thought I was going to be traveling the world and like, I don't know, like that's making music full time. And
that's when the money.
Yeah. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier.
I have that same, I think about the same things. And another thing similar to that, you know, it always happens before I go to sleep, generally. Insomnia, hashtag.
Hashtag. That's also a cookie company. Shout out Insomnia Cookies.
They are a really good insomnia cookie company. They have it Miami, Oxford, Ohio,
Muncie, Indiana.
Probably every college campus.
Probably.
But
back
to my insomnia. There's
back to my insomnia. Yeah. Back to my crushing guilt and worry, which we both have. It's fine.
There's times where I'll lay there at night and I'll think about that. Like, I'm in this body. Like, there's been so many other people, like, in a body.
Yeah.
Like, everyone, of course. But, like,
Yeah.
you think about, like, we're living, like you said, right now. And, like, what happens,
Yeah.
like, when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, am I, I believe in Jesus, but that doesn't mean I have doubts. I think everyone who has doubts, if there's a person who tells you that they don't have doubts,
Probably lying.
everyone's human. We'll probably get some hate mail on about this too.
Hashtag hate mail
But
from the hashtag church. But I think I know, like, why do you think it happens at night? It happens at night for me. I think because maybe just like at night you're kind of more
I think
like,
my mind's
Yeah.
just running. It's trying to
Definitely.
find things to think about.
because there's nothing to do. Like there's nothing to like physically do. So
Right.
it's more your mind is like, wow, where do I go? And it goes to the things that you've been pushing away all day.
Yep.
I think that's what happens for me. And Gregory, I'll talk about some more art. Gregory Alan Isaacoff actually has a song called Words, and the main lyric is words mean more at night. And he's talking about writing a love letter to like a past love. And the words are, though I write these words by the light of the day, please read them by the light of the moon. And it's a beautiful song. Check it out. Words by Gregory Alan Isaacoff. But he's basically talking about how everything is magnified at night. Emotions and feelings and thoughts come out to play really like when it gets dark, because we're not outside usually. We're not doing anything. I think that's why kind of like we both experience like more of those type of thoughts at night. I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist or anything, but
You might be. Who knows?
well, I am, but
But
I haven't told you about it yet.
But yeah, you make a very good point. Thanks, Mr. Isaacoff,
No problem.
for pointing that out.
Oh, I didn't realize you were thinking him, not me. That's fine. I'm fine. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. Like, so those two books just kind of had me thinking, I guess, about like, I guess we're thinking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Hashtag,
Existence.
yeah, hashtag existence. There's like 3 pictures on Instagram, my hashtag existence. But okay, so here's the thing. I said like, I'm almost 21. I thought I'd be traveling and stuff. But like, I don't want to be just like a person who just like goes places and does cool things just to post it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just be like a normal dude who lives in the same town if I actually get to experience a full life, I think.
like a meaningful life.
Yeah, and feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about that too. Like, you know, we're trying to make music right now, and we'd rather make something basically that is meaningful and that we get fulfillment out of, and have it be way less successful, rather than produce something that we feel is kind of like, wow, that's not our sound.
Yeah.
That's not our message.
Yep.
And get a bunch of streams from it, because like it would feel empty at the end. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like there's emptiness at the end of that. Just chasing the money.
I completely agree with that.
My dad like told me, we were like playing golf yesterday, and he goes, like, you can't work for money. You just have to find something that you're so compelled just to do it all the time that it doesn't that it's not a problem for you to work hard at it. And it's not a problem that it's stressful, because you're so compelled to do it.
Look
And
at that.
I know.
Wow.
Hashtag Jeff Jenna wisdom, man.
Jeff Jenna, comedian of the year.
Yeah. But like
Life coach.
that, I think that's just so important, because a lot of
Yeah.
people chase money, and not even art. Like people
Right.
just chase money, like selling insurance or whatever, finance or whatever it is.
Yep. Selling volcano insurance.
Right. Is that a thing?
I would imagine.
Probably.
But no, I that's a very good it's a very good point.
You just can't chase the money.
No.
But that's easy for us to say,
Yeah,
as we have
we
enough
don't have any.
as we have enough things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're both, you know, not loaded, but like we have enough things. Like how it's hard for us to say that to someone who's really struggling financially. Like, you can't chase paper. Like,
No,
but I feel like it's still, even for people who struggle, it's still important to chase what you love and not chase money,
yeah.
because it'll eventually fulfill you more, you know. But putting that to the test for us in the next few years is going to be challenging, I feel like. But
I think it might be, but I think we have a solid ground and understanding just from like your past experience from
yeah.
being at the associated with downtown Middletown and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
my mom is a pastor, and she started a church for like disadvantaged people in our town, Middletown. Basically to give them a church that they felt comfortable in, because a lot of churches, kind of look down on people who have less than most of the congregation. So I just got to be around a lot of people who were just honest and genuine people, and it like changed my life and gave me a perspective that's just like, wow, these people have nothing and they still create art and they still
find joy.
Yeah. Like more joy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like freaking Roger, dude.
Yeah.
Roger and Brittany, do you know them?
Yeah.
They came to my show and they drove to Muncie to see my show at Be Here Now, the bar in Muncie. Mm-hmm. They posted on Facebook, we'll be there. And I was like, whatever, Roger, like there's no way. And sure enough, Roger like rolled in 7:30. Like just the coolest guy.
Yeah.
And Brittany's the coolest girl, like just like so genuine.
Yeah.
And they don't care about what other people think about them. Like they just live their life to the fullest. Yep. They were talking about how like they were like, we might just go and drive for an adventure. Like these are like 50-year-old people, like just I mean that's some like 16-year-old stuff. So it's just cool to see people who live that way every day.
Yeah.
So
especially with not
like not having a ton.
Yeah.
They definitely, I mean, they're both working now.
Right.
But like when they started, like they had nothing, dude. Like, and it was just, I don't know. It's just been crazy to see. But I don't know. Yeah. We talked our ears off. I talk a lot. I talk too much. Should we start an ASMR channel?
No.
YouTube ASMR. Maybe next week.
No. Come back next week for no.
But yeah, we don't really have a format for this podcast yet. But we're thinking like half-hour episodes talking about whatever we want to, because it's our podcast, baby. WTU is running the show.
Yep.
So if you guys want to join us for this journey, please do.
Yes, please.
And our low-budget filming.
Low budget filming, but it's okay though.
Any last recommendations of art or songs or anything in between for the people?
So anything in between, from an art standpoint, going back to my musical roots here, we have a very good song. I would say it's really where.
I mean, not to flex.
Not to flex, but I think you think I'm talking about the other one. But Anthem.
Okay. Going back to Anthem. I thought you were talking about the new.
I want to leave. I guess that's kind of cliche.
New. All right, go for it, man.
But we have.
I won't ask you to spell it though. I won't do it.
We have a single that came out in late 2018 called Anthem. And this may be for a different day to talk about this, but it's a good song for anyone to listen to. I think when they're having a rough day, or, and when work's kicked them in the face. But that's a great song. Even I find myself listening to it, and I get tired of listening to our music because
we made it.
We hear it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a very good song. I recommend going out and listening to that. And then here in the next, probably by the time this podcast comes out, probably in the next month or so, we're gonna have a single coming out this summer of 2019 called "Let Me Tell You a Secret." I think it's another song that was written fantastically by Miles J over here.
Thanks. An avocado, thanks.
But it definitely is another song that, it pulls you right at the heart and very relatable. So good music recommendations from here. So
I will recommend
something that's not ours.
Something that's not ours. I will recommend an aforementioned artist in this podcast already, Gregory Alan Isakov's newest album, Evening Machines. Mm-hmm. The dude writes lyrics like he's just like he has a death wish or something. Like he's writing because he thinks he's writing so well because he thinks he's gonna die tomorrow or something. I have no idea. His lyrics are just like mind blowing, like John Foreman level, just like poetry, you know.
Yeah.
And he like paints these pictures in my head that I like can never. I hope to write like that someday.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of folk. It's kind of folk music. So if you're not into that, you know, I won't blame you. But
Keep on surfing.
I'm into that. Yeah, keep on surfing if you're not into folk music. But like, that's wrong. But I mean, I'm not gonna like call you out or anything.
No, because
you're so wrong. I mean, everybody can see it.
Everyone has their
Literally,
taste.
everyone can see that you're wrong for not like.
Not everyone wants to listen to Mumford and Sons on repeat.
Well, you're wrong if you don't want to, but that's fine.
It is what it is. Guess you're a hopeless wanderer.
Yeah. Wow. I think we have to end there. That was too much dad in one joke. You ruined the podcast, man.
Listen, Little Lion Man.
Podcast episode 1. WTU podcast, 2 voices, 2 microphones, 1 dream. We can't end it like that. New single out soon. New blog post out soon.
Yeah. If you guys haven't already, there'll be a link in the description.
Thanks for that. I have to do that.
To our website, WTUmusic.com.
WTUmusic.com.
There you can subscribe. You can subscribe to our mailing list. You can see our music releases. You can see our merchandise store.
You can see our gigs.
You can see our gigs and our date of events that are happening for where we're playing and all that.
Be on the lookout for us. We're planning a headlining show at Triple Moon Coffee in Middletown.
Sometime.
Later this summer. Yeah, later in the summer.
More deets.
There'll be more deets. And
you'll also, on our site, be able to find our blog, too.
Yes, our blog is written by me and Adam, and we talk about a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about on this podcast, probably. There's one crazy story from me on a blog post on our website, so you should check it out. It's the one with the picture of the bench on it. It's like one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me. Check that out. And yeah, new music soon. Podcast out. Check out the website at WTU Music on Instagram
and Facebook.
WTU on Facebook.
WTU Music. They can look that up on Facebook.
They can find it.
It searches.
They'll find it. You're smart people.
Finds it.
We love you.
Yep, we do.
Keep surfing. I like that.
Keep surfing.
Keep surfing, baby.
Hashtag keep surfing.
Hashtag ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Good night, America.
Hey, if this appears on YouTube, like and subscribe. Hit the notification icon because there's more podcasts coming your way. So,
boom.
This is an anthem for my people who cannot sleep at night, stumbling through the pitch black darkness. We're searching for the light.